All right, Facebook, if you get this, if you can hear me, go over to Instagram, instagram.com/the-FWORDS-of-life. We're going to continue on live there, and hopefully Facebook will stay connected, but if not, we're just going to keep going on Instagram. All right, here we go. Back to the F's, back to what you want to accomplish. All right, I see somebody just joined live on Facebook. All right, we're going to keep going. So here we are. What's one thing you want to change or improve in each of the F words of your life before the end of the year? So Facebook, if you're just joining, we're having some technical difficulties. If we get cut off again, go jump over on the Instagram feed. I'm not going to restart it again. I've restarted it 3 times, but I did all my warm-up. You've been welcomed. You've been congratulated. We've set the tone for this, and now we're just going to rock and roll. We're to page 7, my 2019 plan. Grab your notebook, grab your guide. What's one thing you want to change or improve in each of the F words of your life before the end of the year? Now, here's the caveat to these instructions. Number 1, one thing. One thing. One thing you want to improve or change in each of the areas. Number 2, don't worry about the how right now, okay? So don't worry about the how. I see Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Nice to see you on live. That's a funny comment. I do look at Instagram camera. I just look more at the Facebook camera because it's in front of me directly. But regardless, I'm grateful for you that you're here live or on the replay. We're just getting started on the exercise. So number 1, one thing in each category, one thing in each F word that you want to change or improve by the end of the year. Number 2, don't worry about the how. And I'm going to give you an example. So under fundamentals as we defined it yesterday. So if you didn't see day 2, go back and catch day 2 because I really go into detail of each of the F words and what they mean. Is your self-worth, your self-care, basically the foundation of what you do. It's putting the oxygen mask on first before you help somebody else on a plane with their oxygen mask. That's the short version. So for me, what I wrote down, I first wrote down a to-do, and I was like, I went back and I was reviewing it, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want in that area. What I really want in my fundamentals is I want to experience more joy every day. That's what I want as my core fundamental feeling experience. That's what I want on a daily basis. I know if I'm feeling more joy every day, I'm working on my self-worth. I'm working on my self-care. I'm doing the things that I need to do to take care of myself. So we're going to get into the how and everything like that. But right now, I want you to capture, based on your gut feeling, where you're at. If you did the evaluation yesterday, awesome, because you kind of have a feeling where you're at in your fundamentals. But if you haven't, don't worry about it. You can still do this exercise. Go back and do the other one later. But what do you want to experience in your fundamentals on a day-to-day basis? Do you want more momentum? Do you know that you need to do more self-care? Maybe that is the thing that you need to do. Hey, I need to be more intentional with the words that I'm saying to myself, with the activities that I'm doing that actually, helps take care of myself. If that's the thing, don't worry about how you're going to do it yet, okay? So that's tip number 2. And tip number 3, keep these as simple as you can. Okay, so one thing in each category. Don't worry about the how. We're going to get there. We're going to spend a whole week at least on the how and how we actually put together rituals and habits and actions. And then just write down your first gut instinct. You can go back and tweak this later. You are not, every time I work with somebody new that hasn't written goals, or even if you're a consistent goal writer, people get freaked out about writing something down because it's like, oh my gosh, Brenda, what if I change my mind and I don't want that thing anymore, or I want it differently? Guess what? You right there and you right there, you the boss of your life. You can go back and change this as much as you want, but I really want you to capture that essence. Like what just comes to mind? So for me, under fundamentals, experience more joy. I'm going to figure out ritualistic, specific ways through my mindset and through actions, and that's what we're going to focus on as we continue through the month of April, through this entire 4-week experience, on how do I actually do that. Moving on, faith. Faith as simply defined as your connection to something greater. That could be a charity that you love, that you volunteer, you give money to, that you contribute. How are you contributing to the world? It can be definitely your religion, your spiritual practice and spiritual belief, your connection with that which is greater than you. You'll often hear me call that the universe. You may call it God. You may call it Allah. I am okay with whatever you choose and have as a name of that. That is your personal relationship. So I'm not here to change you. What I'm saying is I believe in the framework of the F words of life, we have a spiritual purpose. We have a spiritual connection, even if it's to mankind. And if you don't like people, then maybe it's to animal kind. You're something greater than yourself. So for me, the one thing I want to change or improve before the end of the year is to create some sort of very simple, intentional daily practice that's faith-based. Now, I usually pray before I go to sleep. I have gratitude in the morning. But what I was thinking is, I think I want to read something spiritual every day, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because I'm not going to worry about the how. What I know is I definitely want to have a consistent, simple daily practice of faith as defined by me, my personal faith. You are going to define it for you. What do you want, though, in faith? Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to set up some sort of monthly contribution to an organization or charity that you love? Do you want to go back to church? Do you want to get involved in a prayer group? Do you want to pray every day? Do you want to meditate every day? Do you want to go on a meditative walk for 5 minutes? Again, just gut instinct. What's there for you? Fitness. Fitness is your health, your energy, and your body overall. So in the past, I've talked about some basic elements from sleep to water to, what you're eating to basic exercise. Again, those are the how. We'll get into those. For me, what I want to increase is I want to increase my physical energy and health. My overall health at a DNA to all the way to the surface level. And I want to have more energy because if I'm doing that, then I'm going to have more energy. And there's a lot of other rituals and goals and things that I can do around that. But for me, if I want to improve it or change it before the end of the year, and you just say, what do you want in fitness? I want more energy. I want more physical energy. What do you want? Write it down. If you, like I said, if you don't have pen and paper right now, come back to this or just sit down with your guidebook. You can get, I'm going to keep saying it, you can get your guidebook, thefwordsoflife.com/FWORDS reset. It's free. It's free for free, like that commercial says. Free, no strings attached, 14-page guidebook. It's yours. Go and get it. Share it with your friends. Share this stuff with your friends, people that you love and care about. If you have a partner or spouse or best friend or teenager or college-age student, you can actually do this exercise together. You can do it individually and then share, which obviously takes some vulnerability, but that's the deepest relationships, which is our next category. But also, you can actually, instead of writing it down, Adam, you could ask Jenna, hey, Jenna, tell me one thing you want to change or improve in your fundamentals this year. And you can help each other fill it out and have fun with this. This doesn't have to be this serious, oh my God, this process. Like, we're meant to live. I'm going to talk about what I want more in freedom, which is a greater sense of playfulness every single day, right? I want that around all of my different activities. Now, there's a lot of ways that I can incorporate that by going out and doing different things. But again, guys, don't take this too seriously. Now, you have serious stuff going on. We've got financial pressures. You've got health pressures. You've got family issues. I understand all of this. But at the same time, we're here to live our best and highest and most incredible life. I believe that's our birthright. I believe that's why we're here. We're here to contribute and give back at the same time, because if we do it in isolation, what's the point? So let's talk about family and friends. For me, I want to, and I mentioned this yesterday, this past 6 months has definitely been some of the most challenging of my life. And so a lot of my relationships have suffered. Those of you that have supported me through this last 6 months, I can't thank you enough. My close friends, some of which are on here right now, and you know who you are. Some friends back in Florida when I've had to go there. My aunt back in Florida, who I've always had a relationship with, but just the level of closeness with her that's been created through such a difficult and challenging time, I'm extraordinarily grateful for. Yet what do I want? I want to consistently show up more for my most meaningful relationships. That isn't about showing up for 1,000 people on some minute level, meaning I got to text 1,000 people every single day. No, 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 no. For me, what I want in my friends and family, my meaningful relationships, is I want to show up more consistently for my inner circle of people, right? Make sure that I'm giving to them as much as they've given to me in my lifetime, not to mention the past 6 months. We'll talk about the how as we get there. Capture your one thing you want to improve, increase, or change. How do you want to show up differently? What do you want to experience? Maybe your thing is, you know what? I don't have a lot of friends, and I actually want to get out there and reunite or create some new friends and connections. Or, you know what? My circle has kind of gone downhill, not in a bad way, but I've been growing, and I want to actually create a new circle of friends in some way. I want deeper, more meaningful connections. That could be your one thing. I want deeper, more meaningful connections in my life. Don't worry about the how. We'll get there, okay? But you've got to capture for you one thing in your meaningful relationships. What do you want to experience, improve, or change this year? Finances. Your income, your investments, your savings. So again, yesterday's training, day 2's training, went through this in detail, what all of that means. For me, my example is I want to increase my monthly active income. I've been growing the FWORDS of life. I actually came up with the concept and created it 3 years ago. And I want to continue increasing my monthly income, because what I know that means is I'm actively impacting more people. And that leads me into the fulfillment. So sometimes finances and fulfillment are going to be very closely tied, and sometimes they're not going to be related at all. Maybe for your finances, it's, you know what? I want to find a way to be debt-free. You don't know how, you're not sure, and maybe it's not by the end of the year, but that's your big thing in finances. I want to be debt-free from credit card debt. Let's get even more specific, right? I want to pay off all my credit cards. Maybe for you, and I mentioned yesterday, one of the things that I coach around is creating savings, creating surplus. Like attracts like. When you have abundance in your bank account, it will start attracting, believe it or not, more abundance. It also has to do with your money mindset. So if you have a really negative relationship, if I say money is the root of, and your immediate response, and you actually believe it because it's what you've been taught, is evil, right? Of all evil, we've got to shift the mindset. So maybe for you, it's, you know what, I really want to shift my relationship around money. I don't know what that means, but Brenda's going to teach me, and that's what we're going to do. For you, it may mean increasing your passive income. You know, maybe you've done something in a passive way. Maybe you've created a side hustle that's a passive income. Maybe you've bought a property that's a passive income. What is it for you in finances that you want to achieve, increase, not necessarily achieve, that's why I didn't use that word, that you want to change or improve or, you know, just increase a little bit? We're talking about incremental. Now we're going to build on this. Like I said, each day we're laying another layer of foundation. We're going to keep going to where we're doing bigger and more specific things so we can get down to the granular, believe it or not, of the actual ritual and habits that you need to do. So fulfillment for me is tied to, right now, my active income in terms of I want to increase that. Well, for me, one of the things that I really want to do and focus on this year is I want to increase my speaking engagements, which means I want to get more face-to-face with people. In person, whether that's inside organizations, inside your mastermind groups, or some meetup group that you're involved in, inside doing specific trainings for you guys on the personal development side. So I'm not sure what that looks like yet. Does that mean I'm going to do a seminar sometime between now and the end of the year that's a live event? But I want to be live face-to-face with people more. I believe that's one of the ways that I can have more of an impact, which is what I said yesterday that I wanted. I want to impact more people's lives, and I take that as a high, high honor and a high, high calling. And then finally, I already mentioned it, but freedom, my playtime and fun. There's a lot of activities I want to get out there and do that have to do with my playtime and fun. However, overall, what I want and what I want to increase is my overall sense of playfulness in general in the activities that I'm doing. Be 100% authentic of who I am, which relates very closely to my fundamental one, if you can see the overlap. And it's okay if there's overlap, of experiencing more joy, right? I did my 3-mile walk today. Yay! I'm celebrating that win. I got that done today. I knocked it out. It was a gorgeous day. And I was listening to a podcast, and he said something. I don't know, it just resonated with me. And I literally, I'm walking down the street, you guys, I got my earbuds in, and I like lifted my arms up like I just, like won a race or something. I'm just walking up a hill. But I like lifted my arms and I was like, yes. And I'm like, what am I doing? People must think I've lost my mind. And that's when I had that like, yeah, it's okay, because that's who you are, and it's okay to be silly and playful and have fun, right? And so for me, that's where I'm at. Tomorrow will actually be the 6-month anniversary of my dad passing. I can't believe it's been 6 months already. And so one of the things that I know that he would want is for me to experience more joy, for me to be more authentically who I am. Every moment, not worrying about who's looking at me, who's judging me. The guy passing by in the car on his way to or from work could not care at all about me lifting my arms while I'm on my little walk and I'm doing my 3 miles and I'm huffing it uphill in the beautiful sunshine of San Diego, which is what I was doing today. So that is your one thing that you want to increase, change, shift, focus on, captured on a piece of paper. Okay, now your action step for tonight is on page 8. I'm having you do a couple of these on your own time. Yesterday you had 5 questions to answer, and I said spend 5 minutes on it. 1 minute per question. Time yourself. This isn't about overanalyzing. This isn't about getting into the deep depths of therapy, because this isn't therapy. And I highly recommend therapy to anyone that needs it. And there's a lot of different reasons, and I'm not being facetious at this point at all. Therapy has its own place and is very important. I've done it in the past. I believe in it wholeheartedly. I believe there are good therapists and not so good therapists, just like anything in life. But this isn't therapy. And so if you need that and you feel like that's something that you need a resource to, you can reach out to me. We'll find, we'll figure out a way to find somebody for you. But this is coaching and training. This is a little bit different. We're assessing where you're at right now and moving you forward. We're not doing a lot of backtracking, okay? We're going to do some backtracking next week at the beginning of the week when we start talking about our thinking. But it's not going to be the deep emotional, here I have this deep emotional scar because this happened in my childhood. We're going to talk about how it impacted you in your thinking and your belief system. So I do believe that's part of coaching. So just that little caveat, that's just my little, reminder of what I'm here for and what I'm not here for, and what I'm qualified for and what I'm not. I'm not a licensed therapist. I do have a master's degree in cognitive psychology, but I'm not a licensed therapist. I am a life coach and a business coach, a trainer and a speaker, and it is on my list also to be a published author. So that will be coming soon. Soon means 10 years to me. So that can mean tomorrow, that can mean 10 years from now. That's how my brain thinks. Okay, so back to page 8. This is your action step. I told you on day 1, I'm a coach. So you're always going to have some action step from me as part of this process. It's a very doable piece. You've got 6 questions for tonight or for this morning. For whenever you're watching this, I want you to answer these 6 questions. First, based on the questions that the things that you just wrote down on the previous page, those 1 things in each F word, what excites you most about those changes or improvements that you want to make? Like if you look at it and go, well, that one actually really excites me, or that one actually gets my juices flowing, or you know what really excites me is to think about impacting more people's lives, because that means I'm going to really be living my mission. Let's see, what else did I write down? What excites me? Having more energy. That really excites me, because I know I'm going to be able to show up as my best and highest self for the people that I'm here to serve. So that excites me. What could get in your way when you make these changes? I want you to start thinking proactively. Okay, well, what could get in my way of having more energy every day? Well, I can tell you right now, not drinking enough water, not eating the right things, not getting enough sleep, and so basically not having a health routine in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay? What could get in your way? Think about your own obstacles. You know what they are. Maybe it's thinking that you're not good enough. You're not worth it, right? I'm not worth doing all these things. Or you know what? It's too hard. You can write the excuses in here for the moment. We're going to break through those excuses too. But there are tangible, legitimate things that could get in your way. Let's identify them. What's one thing, this is question number 3, what's one thing you need to do that you would need to do to stay focused and on track? Well, one thing that I can tell you is show up here. I'm doing this absolutely complimentary free training, coaching, accountability for the next 4 weeks. We're on day 3. So we got a lot more time. So that could be one thing. Hey, I'm going to show up every day, whether it's to the replay or to the live stream. I'm going to show up every day and spend time working on my life. That's what this is about. Maybe it's finding an accountability partner. Maybe it's posting your goals on your mirror in your bathroom or in your kitchen on the refrigerator. What's one thing that you could do? You could hire a coach. You could become part of an accountability group. There's a lot you could do. What's one thing you could do that you need to do to stay on track? Then there's a next set of questions. So there's 3 and 3. What's one thing that you will absolutely achieve before the end of the year, no matter what? I want you to get clear. We just listed 7 things that you want to shift. I want you to get clear on one thing. Now, this could be a specific goal. This could be a specific outcome. This could be a specific experience. This could be anything that you want. Okay, but one, and it could be this teeny tiny small. It doesn't have to be huge. What's one thing that no matter what, you're going to get this one thing done or experienced no matter what. Okay, so it's better to make it small so that you have momentum. But if you have a big one and you know it's realistic, the WNBA draft was this evening, just before this. So if I said, hey, my one thing is I am absolutely going to be drafted by the top team in the WNBA by the end of this year. As your coach, I'm going to say, so I'm playing both. I'm being myself and I'm being my coach. You crazy? Because you're 44 years old and your basketball days in terms of a competitive way are over. However, recreational basketball and joining a rec league, that would be a doable goal if that's something that you wanted to do. So make it realistic in the realm of possibility, people, okay? Then what will it cost you if you don't achieve it? I want you to think about, if I don't focus on my health this year, I'm going to be 1 more year older. I'm going to be 1 more year behind. I possibly have 1 more year of damage I've done to my body. What is it going to cost you? Well, that's going to cost me the ability to show up for the people that I love. If you're a parent, that's going to cost me the ability to be all that I can be for my children. Maybe that means, if I don't take care of my health, it's going to cost me my life at some point. I mean, some of these things are life and death, right? In terms of what you need to focus on for your highest and best potential in life. And then how will you feel when you do achieve that one thing? I want you to picture you're at the end of the year and you've achieved that one thing. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel gratitude. You're going to feel proud of yourself. I want you to feel proud of yourself. That was one of the questions yesterday. So I can't encourage you enough. Go back yesterday. If you didn't do that activity, and do that activity. That's it for today. Okay? Facebook, sorry about the snafus with technology. It was not within my control, but we made it work. Thanks for hanging in there. If you're watching the replay, it'll be 2 parts. You'll have part 1 that was just kind of setting the tone, and then part 2, this teaching part. Instagram, I think we got you on there. However, Instagram, I'll tell you, not only me, but some other people that I follow on Instagram that do live casts, we were having a really hard time getting our replays to upload yesterday. It was like 6 or 7 hours after the fact that it finally uploaded. So if it's not there, I'm working on it. I don't know what's going on with technology. We're not even in a Mercury retrograde right now, but it is what it is. So if you haven't done your one thing in each category, do that. Do your page 8 questions. And then tomorrow, I want to give you a sneak peek of what we're doing. Now, before I do that, I said this in the beginning, but I want to reiterate this. I want this to be an encouraging experience. I want this to amp you up. I want you to feel motivated. I can't always infuse that into you, but if you show up and you engage in this, you will start feeling some momentum. And what I said in the beginning was, this is a process. Shifting, changing, improving, living your best life in any way, shape, form, or fashion is not a one-time activity. That's why you can't go to one event or read one book, and it might shift your life forever, but it's not going to change everything, right? It's a daily intentional focus that we must have. I feel like I have a little cat hair right here. They were hopping all over my desk earlier. Okay, I can't believe neither one of them have made an appearance. They were all over earlier. Anyway, this is a process. So be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, hang in there, do your best each day. That's all I can ask of myself, and that's all I ask of you. Do your best every day. Just do your best. Ask yourself, did I do my best? If the answer is no, okay, you know what? Then hopefully by the grace of God, I have tomorrow and I can show up even better. That's all any of us can do. So it's a process, not a one-time event. If you have comments, if you have likes and loves all throughout these training videos, when you're watching the replay because you're not here live, share your comments, share your feelings, share your struggles, share your questions. I go back and I do read your comments after people have watched the replays as well, because I want to see what I missed. So your comments aren't just going into a void. Other people that watch these trainings later on the replay can also read your comments and see that we're in community together. The F Tribe is coming together to do this. And so please leave your comments, questions, all of that, Instagram, Facebook, all the stuffs. Tomorrow, now, if you're one that has downloaded, hopefully, the FWORDS Reset Guidebook, again, the FWordsofLife.com/FWords Reset. You can download this 14-page guide for free, okay? Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we are basically, we meaning me, I'm going to show you this fundamentals formula for success. And on Instagram, yes, it is backwards because Instagram doesn't flip the camera. On Facebook, it is written in the right direction. So we are going to go through the fundamentals formula for success at a high level. So for those of you that don't like blank pages, tomorrow you do not want to miss out, because we're going to start filling in the blanks for the fundamentals formula. All right. This is a framework, a process, a cycle, whatever word you want to use. It's a way for you to take ownership over your successes and your failures. To actually have a process that you can go through, it's like a checklist. Okay. That's a simple way to put it. There's a lot of pieces to the checklist, people. When I've been working on this and creating this, I'm like, okay, how can I simplify it, distill it down as clearly as possible? But, you know, making shifts, and then when we multiply that times 7 areas of life in the FWords of life, it's a lot of pieces. That's why I'm doing this free for a month. And guess what? We're going to keep going beyond that and beyond that and beyond that, whether it's free, whether it's groups, whatever we're doing, right? Because growth is an ever-going process. But I'm going to break it down as simply as I can into these 3 sections that we'll fill in tomorrow. And then we're going to start working on each section one by one over the next 3.5 weeks. How does that sound? Does this sound like a game plan that you guys are in for? I am super in for this. So if you are just joining us live, we are just wrapping up. Please go back and watch the replay. On Facebook, we did have a little snafu where there's 2 parts because Facebook kicked me off twice because of the internet. But those should be posted here right after. Watch the replay. I appreciate you. If nobody told you today, I'm proud of you for showing up. I'm proud of you for wanting to live your best life. And I'm honored and I'm so grateful that you take the time out of your day to be here with me and be here again with each other in community to support each other in growing in a playful, fun, and yet serious way where we are going to kick ass, take names, and make this our best possible life, make this our best possible day, week, month, year, and ultimately life. So go have a great rest of your day wherever you are. Thanks for being here, party people, and I will see you tomorrow back live, God willing and technology willing, on social media, 5:45 p.m. Pacific. That is 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Trying to catch you guys after work and before bed. And we'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll be back Friday at the same time. That's going to wrap up this week, and then we are going to start again next Monday and rock it again. So be here every day. Make that commitment to yourself. You are worth it. You are worth it. Be here, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys at that time. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.